Kapow! Hello and welcome to Stanchion Snacks, a bit of a mouthful. And here we are at the big one. Southampton versus Portsmouth. Yin versus yang. Light versus dark. Right versus wrong. Cat versus dog. South versus north. Now, I know you're saying, no, but this is a South Coast derby. But if you haven't been to Portsmouth, which I don't recommend, what you won't know is that Portsmouth is actually very much a northern town that has been dropped on the South Coast. So, how can I create a dish that represents both Southampton and Portsmouth, and also an ex-player? If I really had to choose an ex-player that played for both teams, it would probably be Peter Crouch. Which is why I'm wearing this slightly small top. I will be making something which is very, very tall, but it is something which is two very different sides. So what I am going to create for you today is a surf and turf burger. So surf and turf, something from the sea, something from the land. Now, there's only one thing I could really cook from the sea, isn't there, for you guys today? So I have got this piece of fish here, and it's a fillet so as to not get the Portsmouth fans too excited if there's any of you watching this. If I bought the whole fish, of course I would have sold the head to any Portsmouth friends that I know. I do have one friend who's a Portsmouth fan, but in my defence, I didn't know that he supported Portsmouth when I got to know him. I have said to him since that I think if you're a Portsmouth fan, you should tell people the first time you meet them. But this is, of course, a piece of skate, and skate is actually a very, very nice fish. You have to have it nice and fresh. This has come from my good friends at the Fish Society. I ordered it on Wednesday and it came from my door Friday morning, which is absolutely superb. I have done a little unboxing, which I might show you about that later. So this is a sort of a steak of skate, so to speak, and it's got a bone right through the middle here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove that. So I'm using a filleting knife here, but if you don't have a filleting knife, just use any knife that's got a little bit of flexibility to it. And I'm just following the bones down there. It's quite an unusual fish because it just has this main sort of set of bones right down the middle, and I'm just following it down with my knife there to take it off. So then you're just left with that little bit in the middle. That little bit of fish there is perfectly usable, so I'll just take that off. And then you can use that those bones in stock or anything like that. So I'm just starting here by dicing this fish just to get us going. It's a bit of a rough chop, and I'm going to put that into this pestle and mortar, and then we're going to give it a real good smashing. Obviously I clean my board down first. We're really going to pound this. We're going to smash this, you know, a bit like Saint Smash Pompey. But yes, go on Danny, that's a good one. So keep pounding it, give it a real good pound. You could use a food processor, but I prefer to really sort of give it a good smashing. Yes, why not? Keep on smashing it. And now I'm just putting a little bit of red Thai curry paste in there, which of course you can make your own, and continue to pound that, give it a real good smashing. Keep on smashing it.
Might get it back in the box, and it is 3-0.
Cedric, wow, there we go. And then I'm just going to put some sort of stalks of watercress and a little bit of parsley. Nice little fine chop, and we're going to add that to it. We'll use the rest of the watercress later, and I've also put some green beans in there as well. And again, we're just going to keep on smashing it up, really pound it. Oh, and we'll add an egg. Only one egg, because as they say, one egg is a nerf. And then pound that up until it can't really take any more, until you've got a real nice paste.
Redmond might chase his own pass here, and Downing's led him, and Redmond's bearing down on the box, cuts inside towards the D on his right foot and makes it 4-0. That's all his own work from Nathan Redmond.
So then once you've got a nice sort of smooth mix like that, we'll put it in the fridge and chill it down. And then for our turf, I've got some lovely pork. So I've got these lovely sausages, outdoor bread. If you're not buying your sort of meat from the butcher or somewhere that you really trust, if you have to buy it from the supermarket, which sometimes we do, look for outdoor bread. That kind of gives you an idea that it's had a happy life. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to pimp it up a little bit, because I had these sausages anyway, but I kind of want like a sort of a chorizo kind of vibe. So I'm just going to cut the skins off. So I've pounded up some garlic and some paprika and a little bit of black pepper. And we're just going to add that to this, just to give it just a little subtle hint of chorizo, which obviously chorizo goes really well with fish and seafood. And we're going to form that into a patty, and we're pretty much ready to go. Oh, if we had smell-o-vision, the smell of garlic, I guess, and paprika, and I might just add a little dusting more. So and I put harissa in here as well. So we've obviously got the sort of cooked out paprika, now just a little bit more there. That'll give us a real nice colour. So we're going to start off by cooking our sausage, and just to sort of mould the patty, I'm just going to start by putting a little bit of oil on my hands, and then we can just take, I think I will just do one big one here. We can then take the whole sausage. This is 2 sausages, of course, and now if we mould it like this in our hands, it's not going to stick to our hands, so we're not going to get any raw meat. We will wash our hands, obviously, but then it just means we can form a nice patty like that. So there is our beautiful sausage patty going in there into a hot pan. So I've just got a nice little sear on the sausage there on both sides. There's the other side. So I'm just going to slide that into a relatively hot oven. I just used a little top bit of my oven here. And now we're going to get the surf on. So I'm going to get that little pan getting a little bit hot there. To form these, a little bit like the oil, similar kind of concept, we need a bowl of very cold water. So the first thing I'm going to do is wash my hands. A little bit of soap. And now here we have the mix of the fish cakes, and I'm going to split it into into 2. It's very cold. Now if you didn't have wet hands, this would stick to your hand, really. It gets quite sticky. So again, look, we're just going to form this into a nice patty. Obviously we want to make it a little bit smaller than the sausage, because as we all know, Portsmouth, not that this represents Portsmouth now that we've bashed it and turned it red, as we all know, Portsmouth is much smaller than Southampton, and that's just going to go in there beautifully like that. And I might as well form the other one later. So again, this fish cake now, I've just flipped it, and it's probably had about 2 minutes on each side. It's got a nice bit of colour there, and we're just going to slide this into the oven just to finish off cooking with the sausage. The other little thing that I'm going to add to this is some onion rings. Now I'm not going to show you exactly how to make these, because I did a video on it last week, so if you haven't seen that, watch this video. But I'm going to cook some onion rings, I'm going to toast the bread like I normally do, and then it's going to be time to start building it. So I think we've got just about enough time to watch one more Southampton versus Portsmouth goal.
Long personal drought, and showed that whatever rust had accumulated from his year out, it's gone now. Vintage stuff. You have to go go back 15 long months for Marion's last goal, but this one definitely worth waiting for.
Okay, everything is ticking over nicely, so it's time to start building this baby. So I've taken a roll, and it was already sliced, actually. If it wasn't already sliced, I was going to slice it into 3, but then what I've actually done is I've taken like a slice of bread, and I've just buttered that as well, because we're going to have lots and lots of layers here. So I've got my favourite pan getting nice and hot just behind me. I've cooked my onion rings as well. I've done something very clever, even if I do say so myself, with one of these onion rings. Get ready till you see what I've done. It's pretty cool. So we'll start with the bottom first, because then we can start building it, really. So I'm just going to give that a little run around the pan there. Nice press down. And because this pan's nice and big, I can get all 3 pieces in. So here we go. We've got our onion rings. We have our fish cake. We've got our sausage. I'm just going to season the onion rings and the fish cake a little bit. I only use Maldon's. And now we can start building. On the bottom, I'm going to start with a little bit of just pure mayonnaise. And then onto that, let's start with some of this beautiful watercress, potentially from Hampshire. And then we'll put the sausage on. Then the next bit of bread, a little toasty there. And then on this one, maybe a bit of mayo, but also a little bit of sweet chili. So we're almost making like a sweet chili mayo at the same time. And I might do that on the lid as well. I think I will. Just a little bit. So then onto there. First of all, our beautiful fish cake, and then 2 of our onion rings. Then we'll put the lid on. Look at that. That is a match day snack. That, my friends, is a bit of a mouthful. And then my genius move, out of the other onion ring, I've just cut it there a little bit so that I could turn it into a little halo. There you have it, people, my surf and turf. Look at that. Watercress, kind of chorizo sausage, beautiful skate fish cake, onion rings, and the bread. You might notice this is the first video I've created where I haven't had a drink. I haven't got a drink. Oh, I could do a beer, or let's see what it's like. Oh my goodness. There's the beautiful balance. I can kind of taste everything. I've got the Thai aromas of the fish cake. I can taste a little bit of the sort of paprika and the garlicky from the sausage. It's spicy, it's not overpowering. The watercress is a nice peppery hit. It's nice to have that crunch from the onion ring. Guys, that is surf and turf. I honestly think that's the best thing I've created so far on this channel. Please give it a go. But enjoy the match. Up the Saints. Please like and subscribe. Up the Saints. I think maybe like a light Light cider would be lovely. Apple would actually be lovely with that. You know what? So good. Glass of champagne would be superb with that. That's what I might do next time. Up the Saints!